Hello, I'm Lidia Curanaj. I don't know about you, but did you try watching the Democrat National Convention? If so, did you have a tough time like I did? You know, I'm a journalist, right? So it's my job to watch and hear both sides of the story. But the more I watched the DNC, the more I became enraged over the constant flow of blatant lies being told. I couldn't sleep the first night because I was so angry, especially the lies even told by our own members of Congress.
He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud, but not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it. What's it called? Project 2025.
That is false. Trump did not write Project 2025. The project's big policy document published by the Heritage Foundation think tank lists dozens of people as authors, editors, contributors. Donald Trump is not among them.
Wow. You know it's bad when even CNN has to call out the lie. Clearly, the theme of this DNC was simple. Hate Trump more than you hate your life right now. According to the Trump-Vance campaign, on just day one of the DNC, Trump was mentioned 147 times, economy 27 times, the border 8 times, inflation just 3 times, crime just 6 times. The entire DNC, it reminded me kind of a slick Hollywood production, like this a kind of big summer blockbuster, Independence Day meets Titanic, with the award for Best Regime Puppet going to Kamala Harris.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, she said thank you 31 times there. I mean, you know, like any overhyped movie, once the entire thing was over, what was the DNC even about? Kamala, she detailed zero policies. She took zero accountability for her role in all the chaos. Yet the fake news, it continues to exalt her.
You're going to remember where you were on this night. This is an inflection point in history.
Of course it is. Of course it is. This is an inflection point in history. No other presidential candidate has been openly installed by the oligarchs. I mean, who else do you think occupied those $5 million DNC luxury suites? Come on. You know, Kamala, she never received a single vote. She didn't get even to the first primary in Iowa. She was the first person to drop out when she ran. She has yet to even put out a single cogent policy, no press conferences. She won't do a single sit-down interview, yet she's the Democratic nominee for president. This is what's happening in our country. You know, by supporting Kamala and the coup to overthrow Joe Biden, all of the people in that arena basically said, screw democracy. And here's the kicker. Those same sheep think that they are better than us. They think they're morally superior to us. Yet they're the same people advocating for the killing of the unborn outside of the DNC with an abortion van. Can you believe that? It's like like this is how I picture it. This is my Oprah voice, right? You get an abortion, and we'll snip you. Hooray for everybody. Let's kill some babies. By the way, speaking of Oprah, I forgot what a great actress she is. Remember she was in The Color Purple? And here she is at the DNC pretending to be working class.
I have actually traveled this country from the redwood forests, love those redwoods, to the Gulf Stream waters. I've seen racism and sexism and income inequality and division. I've not only seen it, at times I've been on the receiving end of it.
Oh, poor Oprah. Oh, of course she had to lament the racism and sexism she's faced from a country that made her a multi-billionaire. Isn't she the richest woman in the country? But slick as the DNC production may have been, it didn't fool as many Democrat voters as they thought it would, you know? Take a listen to this.
I can't vote for the status quo. And I was absolutely better off during Donald Trump's presidency than I am today.
Right, I say Kamala Harris, you say?
I'd say far left. I'd say woke.
Right on the money there. And you know, it must have pained CNN to air that clip there of this voter. So, you know, while they partied it up at the DNC in Chicago, all joyful, Trump was at the border again, doing what Kamala, who is supposed to be the border czar, has never done. drawing attention to the victims killed by illegals, thanks, of course, to Biden and Harris's open border policies. And one of the victims of that border policy, Rachel Marin, that beautiful woman you see right there, a mother of 5, raped and murdered by an illegal while on a jog in Maryland. Her mother, Patty, she spoke to reporters while she was with President Trump.
She was brutally beaten, raped, and then stuffed into a drain pipe. We're 18,000 miles, 1,800 miles from the border. And because of this open border, we've had not just my daughter, but we've actually had 2 in the same county that we're from, where illegal immigrants have come in and have caused rape and murder.
You know, were any of these victims, these beautiful girl women right here, were they ever mentioned at the DNC? Of course not. Democrats, you know what? They think they're riding high now, but let's not forget what happened in 1988. Let's remember, let's rewind. A Gallup poll showed Democratic presidential nominee Michael Dukakis leading George H.W. Bush by 17 points. You remember, right? Bush ended up winning that election in a landslide. So while the DNC, you know, it just ended, I can already sense that the tide is once again shifting towards President Trump. RFK Jr. dropped out of the race Friday, and he is now backing Trump.
Instead of showing us her substance and character, the DNC and its media organs engineered a surge of popularity for Vice President Harris based upon, well, nothing. No policies, no interviews, no debates, only smoke and mirrors and balloons in a highly produced Chicago circus.
Wow, that could not have been easy for Kennedy. He's getting a lot of backlash, even from his own family members, but he called it. I mean, talk a Kennedy from a dynasty, a Democrat dynasty, now backing a Republican and going against the deep state. He's a brave guy to stand up to this warped version of the Democrat Party that demonizes Trump for all the problems in the world. It's like they think we don't realize that Democrats, they're the ones that have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years, and all the twerking in the world won't make things better at this point. Only Trump can.